What's in The Rift is intended for mature audiences. This show includes death, drug use, criminal activity, and a consistent undercurrent of existential dread. Any children discovered listening to this show will get the hammer.
Bruce? Bruce!
What?
Bruce, I need you to stay with me. Tell me you still remember.
What? Yeah. I think I remember.
The man standing over you, flanked by the two other security guards that had approached you down the hall, offers a hand to pull you up.
Stand up, Bruce. Come with me.
Where are we going?
To make a decision.
Where are my friends?
Wherever you want them. I'll explain in a minute.
The man grabs your hand and starts leading you back down the hallway of this facility that you have just entered not but a little while ago before everything started to fall apart around you. You push through the double doors, you walk down a hallway where people are pushing out a mess of debris, and a large carcass of something sickly and mottled white and inhuman is curled up on the floor, apparently dead, no longer powered by whatever had driven it. The man puts a hand on your shoulder and then leans down and speaks into your ear.
Do you see how destructive the things that come out of you are?
The things that come out of me? Like the smoke? I shouldn't have smoked that cigarette.
No, Bruce, you shouldn't have. You definitely shouldn't have.
I know.
Think of one of your friends, Bruce. Do you have one in mind?
Well, it's right by Toska. Just a minute ago.
Toska, you come to. You're no longer on a floor with a puddle of piss rapidly expanding around you. You are standing in a hallway behind Bruce and behind the cadre of UCRI-clad figures all around you. And you remember every bit of everything up to this point. You remember the cold, calm lack that you had just been inside of, that void in which you existed as a potential and nothing more. And now you're here again with full knowledge of what's going on, even if the man in front of you doesn't recognize it.
Turn around, Bruce.
Toska, buddy.
What up, bro?
Bruce, think of any of them. Bring them all back, or dismiss them all. Go ahead. They're all yours.
Dismiss them? Well, I know Jackie was right down the hall.
Jackie, you come to. You turn and see Jackie, as if she had been following you that whole time.
Oh, and Ace.
You don't even need to request for Ace, because when Jackie comes forth, so does Ace.
Oh, he's a good boy.
One by one, you start to pull your friends out of the void. The accompanying soldiers that had guided you first out away from Dima after you had killed him, that had led you here to this husk of a monster, stand back and give you a little bit of distance.
Were you all at the gelato place? What happened to you? That's like where I went after I time traveled to meet Dima or whatever.
That does sound like gelato.
Just soft and at ease. Like gelato.
The three folks that had escorted you have now melted back into the crowd, and a new person stops and is standing nearby. And almost as if speaking with the same voice, says to you,
Bruce, Do you understand that what you're doing right now, you have done to all these people as well?
This woman now before you looks something like what you remember Alana to look like. It's not her, but it is an approximation of her. A woman who stands about 5'6", with cropped blonde hair hanging just below her chin, and piercing blue eyes. She stands in a UCRI uniform, and she has, rather incongruously, a push broom at her side. But she speaks as if she's been a part of this conversation from the beginning.
Listen, Bruce, before you get lost in another fantasy, I need you to at least try to hold on to the narrative thread here. Do you know what is going on here?
Well, I think I know that I've been having problems remembering things. But I don't think I just forgot who I was with. I think these people actually disappeared.
They did. And the memory problems that you have, Bruce, you gave yourself those problems. I grew up without religion. I didn't grow up going to church. My parents didn't even read me fairy tales. I think. It's hard to remember my actual childhood anymore, but I know this. Whatever you are doing here, it's supernatural. For whatever goddamn reason, in this iteration, you have chosen to act mundane. It's almost as if you wanted the alter ego because being special wasn't special anymore.
So I'm not the director of data analytics?
No, Bruce.
Oh my gosh. What am I gonna do with all these business cards?
Oh, I can't stop laughing. Oh my god.
Bruce asking the real questions.
Oh shit. You're amazing. God, I love you so much, Bruce.
Bruce, the reason they're all laughing at your jokes is because you made them that way.
No, that was amazing. Bruce is great.
You made them this way. I don't even know if humor is a thing or if you invented it. It's been so many iterations, I don't know if real means anything anymore. Just look at what you made me, Bruce.
And the woman standing in front of you walks away, blending back into the mill of people, shuffling through these hallways, tidying up messes, pushing corpses out of the way, seemingly deconstructing this facility around you. And a new person steps up. Now a man, shorter, a man who looks to be maybe 60, 65 years old. And he stops and says,
You made me this, Bruce. You've made all of this, all of these people, me. Do you get it yet?
Me Alana or me Bruce?
I don't know the difference anymore.
Oh gosh.
I have some things that I do know for certain. I know what events have led to this moment from the start of this timeline. I know how I'm able to speak to you through all these people and control their actions. I know that the real me is in a jar in Chicago, hooked up to a machine straight out of a B-grade sci-fi full of blinking lights and knobs. I know that you put devices in people's heads. I have to assume you intended me to use these the way I am, like strings for a marionette. I know that I was an anthropologist, and Dima Volkov came and convinced me we would do something very important together. I know in high school I was an avid chess player, and as a child I loved horses. I know my parents' names were Eric and Lena. But I can't know if those are real memories. I can't tell if I even existed outside of your head before all this, Bruce. Because every time your fancy strikes, you rewrite everything about us, Bruce. a new concept, a new world, a new story to fit whatever whim you have at the moment.
So am I just a brain in a jar next to you? Because I don't remember until just now. I remember going to college, but I don't remember going to college with Blanche and Court, but now I do.
We went to college together?
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. You'll forget again, like you always have, and so will I. The only reason I've been able to hold any memory is that you offhandedly assured me that you didn't want me to see any harm. Since then, I've remembered everything.
Well, sure. I don't want to harm anybody. The only reason we got chemo is because it seemed like the only way to get out of this.
Of course. Only what's necessary. I've heard that before. Maybe next time you and your friends are all secret commandos and Dima is my henchman. Maybe next time Blanche is your little sister again and she needs you to help her discover her hidden psychic powers. Maybe we'll get Court as an alien dressed in a person suit, here to study our ways. Maybe, as it was too many times now, Jenny is a love interest and we get another juvenile idea of what an adult relationship is.
Wait.
The point is, Bruce, that there are patterns to these things. But this time you went much bigger. And the implications of that are scarier. This has to end.
You're trying to tell me that I made this? I made this terrible world that Jackie came from? I made Court have terrible things happen to her? I did this?
As you're speaking, the man that you were speaking to gets a glassy look in his eyes for a moment and then goes back to moving with the crowd of people out and around you.
Alana! Wait! You can't just leave now!
You call out, but
Alana!
no one seems to be paying any mind to you or anyone else around you at the moment.
No! I came all this way! I finally talked to you!
As for the rest of you, this speech that folks around you have just given you is stirring some uncomfortable memories inside of you that you did not remember having. And you know deep in the core of your being that what was just said about you is true. You are, at least to some extent, an extension of Bruce. And by whatever means this is happening, or for whatever purpose it escapes you, but you can feel it. And most alarmingly, you don't know if there is a you outside of Bruce. Because those memories don't stretch back to a time before he was a part of your life. Briefly, a younger girl stops. A pudgy-faced, red-headed teenager. One that is immediately familiar to you, Bruce, as the courier of a letter. She says to you,
You started this story, but you didn't necessarily create every world in it. You gave your friends a piece of what you can do, and I don't think you realize just how dangerous that is.
and that same glassy look passes over her face before she starts moving again with the crowd of people around you.
Little girl, wait! Wait, are you Alana? Why do you keep leaving me? I'm confused. Hey guys? Does this make sense to you?
You know, it kind of does.
But also doesn't in a weird way.
Yeah.
No. I don't get it. Like, I'm not a writer. I don't make things like the Blizzard. But I've got all these memories coming now. Like, I feel like saying that I'm all-powerful, like I could just conjure a cigarette right now.
Bruce, you look down at your hand, and there is a lit cigarette with smoke curling up around your arms.
Oh no, not again. I am addicted.
When did you start smoking?
Can I hit that, please?
About 15 minutes ago.
This is fucking wild.
Bruce, I'm not really one to talk, but that's a bad habit to get into.
Creating entire ass worlds is a bad habit.
I just wanted to try it. Maybe I should...
I don't know, that seems pretty interesting.
The conversation is interrupted as one of the people hacking apart the monster laying in the hallway and bringing it out piece by piece stops and turns back to you with a hacksaw in their hand and says,
Do you know that you don't smoke, Bruce? Maybe we all smoke. Maybe we all ate from troughs originally. Since this is all your imagination anyway, none of this really matters.
and then turns back around and begins sawing away.
I know one thing. I would not create somebody that rude. Same thing for that little girl who gave me the note. Why would I make people that would be so nasty to me? Takes a big swig of the cigarette, as he calls it. Oh my god, another swig of this!
No,
Please
don't.
pass it to me because,
Bruce, just put the cigarette away.
So wait. Can you bring back Jason?
And Gypsum, what was that shit about? Why did Gypsum,
I don't
turn on
know.
us?
Why do kids suck so much? Why would I do that?
Another person peels off of this mass around you and stands by the group and says,
I can see you have questions.
Yeah, why'd I give someone a milk crate for a leg?
Because it's hilarious.
There are some things consistent in every iteration you've put us through. As an avid consumer of stories, I would absolutely expect you to recognize narrative tension. Betrayals by a trusted friend, comic relief characters, mysteries. They may come in different forms, but they are elements of the story nonetheless.
Are we consistent?
Yes, you all appear to be main characters. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Can you explain what that means?
Across all stories, you are the personalities that seem to be favored. You fulfill an archetype. There is the trickster, the sidekick, the tragic figure, and the pragmatic caretaker.
Which one am I?
You are new. And that's a problem.
Why?
So wait a minute. Who are you?
Are you still Alana?
I have the unenviable distinction of being one of the bad guys.
Come again?
Well, that's not a good sign.
Villains don't generally announce themselves.
No, they do all the time. Then they
I mean,
laugh
that's
and
true.
then reveal their evil. Yeah,
Is this
like
the
that.
part
Like
where you give
that.
us your monologue about your big plans or something?
No one has ever accused Bruce of being a spectacular storyteller.
Hey!
Bruce, you are a spectacular story writer.
I mean, you just kind of did, actually.
Have any of you ever wondered why, despite having rich backstories with family and friends and all these ties that bind you to your worlds, not one of you seemed concerned at all with what happened to them? When you were all together chasing after Court when she was captured, why weren't you doing the same for, let's say, Steven? That's your dad, Jenny. Why were you more concerned with someone you just met than your own father? Or your traveling circus, Court. You said they had gotten you through so much, but whenever you had a chance to escape, you didn't go in search of them. You sought out your friends. Or Blanche. What about Gary and Denise? Dear old mom and dad, right? What about your beloved fucking bird, Johnson? According to my files, Johnson is an integral part of your backstory. He hasn't been brought up once. Where were they in all of this when you were so concerned with tracking down your friends? None of this ever occurred to you. None of this ever struck you as the slightest bit weird.
No.
I'm not going to lie, not really.
Yeah, no.
Because it fit the story.
And the man steps back.
I don't want to think that I did this to any of you. I'm really sorry.
I'm not going to lie, while I do think you're a phenomenal storyteller, Bruce. Your villain's a bit of a dick.
I mean, aren't they all?
No, you could have lovable ones.
I'm not writing this, though. I swear, I'm not making this happen.
Bruce, I'm honestly messing with you.
Well, if you're not, then who is?
It's a good question.
Because villain here seems to know an awful lot about what's going on.
And I feel like I don't know fig about what's going on.
Guys, I have a question for us.
We're all ears, Cord.
Is it weird that none of us are freaking out or concerned too terribly much? Isn't that a little weird? Like, we just got called into question that all of us, like, may or may not exist, and I'm not going to lie, I'm taking this in stride. Like, I am not feeling at all concerned, and that is concerning. Jenny, do you feel concerned? You're like from the sound of it, the pragmatic one, right? That is what the lady puppet said? The man puppet? I'm not sure.
I never thought of myself that way, but maybe. I don't really feel concerned, but I agree. I feel like I should.
She said we all had a little piece of what he can do, so... I close my eyes really, really tight, like I'm straining, and poof, my parrot pops into my hands. Hey, Johnson, look at you!
Another member of the pack of UCRI folks now starting to push the broom down the suddenly very barren hallway, stops and turns to you, Bruce, and says,
I find it funny watching you do little bits of wish fulfillment. Of course, none of you are concerned. You all fare fine in these stories. But the people you use for your bit parts have to suffer all of the things that none of you do. What do you think happened to the people left behind in the collapsing realities you all so merrily skipped through to get here?
Are you saying they're not made up realities? That they're actually real realities?
Every single one of them. Billions upon billions of people across hundreds, if not thousands, of universes, all brought into existence so Bruce could tell yet another hackneyed multiverse superhero story.
You don't talk about Bruce like that, bro.
And you said Bruce was a bad storyteller. Come on.
Well, it's not a story if they're real.
That's true.
It's all a story. Real
Wait,
or
so
not.
I am real, right? Permanent? Like...
Are you? Am I? What does that even mean?
You just said that everyone was, so yeah?
What does that mean, though, Jenny? If tomorrow Bruce rewrites all of this and none of this ever occurred, does that even count?
Can we just turn it off? Can't we just stop all that terribleness and live from this moment forward?
the man steps back and moves away, but now that same shorter blonde facsimile of Alana steps back into the circle of all of you.
Why do you keep leaving?
It's hard to pull on one person too long, Bruce. I can tell them to do things and let them do it, but when I am trying to pilot someone directly, it can be very difficult to fight through them wanting to be themselves. Especially since I am spread across the entirety of the fucking multiverse right now. Thanks.
So, are you in charge?
No, Bruce. As much as you have made me something that could maybe stand up to a bunch of little gods, I am never in charge. I play the bad guy every time.
Oh, I like you.
Are you a bad guy?
Am I, Toska?
Didn't you say you were in a jar?
I am.
That's villain shit if I ever heard it.
Am I a villain if I was written to be this way?
Not because you're fucking raining on our parade, bro. We just found out this is awesome. What are you talking about?
Awesome for you, Toska. Does the world extend outside of yourself?
As she says this, she turns and pointedly stares at you, Bruce.
That's what I've been trying to figure out. Is this all inside me? How real are these people? How much control do I really have?
Why not try it out, Bruce?
Alright, Blanche, smack yourself in the face.
That won't work, Bruce.
So, I don't have complete control.
Try it out with anything other than your friends, Bruce.
So, they're all like a bunch of other Bruces. We're kind of like the team from the Blizzard now. We're all special. The rest of the world stayed normal.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought this was... You were making it sound so bad. This is so radical. Oh my gosh. Bruce starts floating like he's gonna fly. Oh, why were you so upset? Oh my gosh. Look at me. I'm flying.
Alana, was it?
Yes, Court.
What is happening with, like, my friends back from where I came from?
You made that world, Court. You tell me. Unless you want to know what happens when one of these realities collapses.
I didn't really to begin with, but now I'm curious.
About how many people, roughly, would you say were alive in your world, Court?
Roughly like 7 billion.
About 7 billion on your planet. But this is Bruce, so we can assume there are billions of other worlds in your dimension, all of those worlds with billions of their own little green men. So when one of you forced your dimension to collapse into another, everything from one reality came crashing into another. And because of your narrative protections, it was only in little bubbles around you that anything walked away unscathed. Everything else was pushed together, forced to be two things at once. That breaks some people, Court. That is enough to make their heads split open, and when those realities don't agree, some people die. All the people in your world you had never met, all your daily acquaintances, all your friends, even their pets. They all had entirely different existences, forced into a head designed to only fit one. For everything where there was too great a disagreement between the realities, well, are you familiar with the term maceration?
I want to sound smart, so I'll say yes.
I'll explain it anyway. Maceration is what happens when you grind something into a fine enough paste that it essentially becomes a liquid. There's only so much room in a reality, and the pieces that do not fit need to be ground up as fine as possible to make room for the new. That said, don't feel too bad. Once the particulate was fine enough, it simply evaporated into vacuum.
Wait, is that why Glenda kept yelling about people in her head?
Yeah, that is why Glenda, who I guarantee you is in someone else's head right now, was yelling about people in her head.
Why would they be in her head?
If you'll let me get to it, Jenny, we're almost there. Bruce shared all the bits of consciousness that made Glenda, out across countless dimensions. You see, Bruce can't create new people, not real, actual people. At least he couldn't. Bruce, as far as we knew, could only rewrite existing ones. The cultural aphasia, the fugue states, the reintegration, all of it is a side effect of the cruel reality that Bruce has created.
I don't want to be cruel.
I know
No.
you didn't do this on purpose. You never intend to hurt anyone. But you are trapped in a mind that hasn't had a need to age past your 10th birthday. There's no growth for gods, Bruce.
So, what? Is this my body? Or am I a brain in a jar just like you sitting somewhere.
What would be the functional difference, Bruce?
I guess you got a point there. I'm just trying to understand. Is this the only reality, or is there another one?
I'm finding it very difficult to maintain this person right now. Hold, please.
Around you, as now this building has been stripped to the bare walls and empty floors, furniture removed, floors mopped and broomed and swept clean, the milling people begin to drop one by one onto the ground until it is just you and this woman, this poor facsimile of what you remember Alana to look like, and dozens upon dozens of limp, lifeless corpses.
There. Much better.
So is this a new iteration, like you said?
Yes? Yes, sure, a new iteration. Whatever you did to me, however long ago it was now, Bruce, it has left me able to bear through this process. And I do what I can to transition things as smoothly as possible.
Does that mean I can't undo the damage that was done in the last iteration?
What do you mean?
All the people from Court's world, all the macerating, all that.
Go right ahead, Bruce. You could blink, and we could all be back to square one. Why, we could all be brains in jars on a shelf sitting next to one another. But so what if you did? What stops it from happening again? More importantly, if there are no consequences of action, is there any purpose to the action at all? Have you really not grasped this yet, Bruce? By virtue of you existing, it does not matter. Anything I or anyone else does is bound to be unwound and rewritten and have no actual impact on a world that exists only by your whim. All existence is meaningless.
No, you give things meaning. That's why we tell stories. We give things meaning. There's no inherent meaning.
Bruce, I don't know who I am. Do you know who you are?
Yeah. I thought I was the director of data analytics, but you're right. I don't know who I am now either.
Doesn't that leave you feeling unmoored, unstable, insecure?
That's not the only flippin' thing, Alana. I'm feeling pretty doggone down on myself right now. I am somebody who likes to help people. I don't like feeling like I'm responsible for people dying, for ruining everyone's lives. I just want to know how to make it okay.
Why do you think there have been so many iterations, Bruce? Every time a story reaches its natural conclusion and there are consequences for it being told, you can't bear the fact that some people weren't okay. Some people are sad. Some people are angry. Some people are dead. And you are so concerned with setting everything back to its initial state, like you're resetting a game board for a new game. We are then forced to go through the new version of Bruce's grand adventure.
So you're saying we shouldn't start over again this time? Is that the way to set everybody free?
There are two choices that I can see. I can do everything that I can to contain you and your reality-breaking friends to prevent further harm to the world. You would need to go away somewhere and willingly seal yourself off from the rest of this. But I can't put things back to the way they were. I can only try to prop up this failing multiverse you've set up here. But as long as any of you have any influence over this world, it will always be your world. The rest of us are just set dressing. If you go, it'll be something more like the world before all this. Hopefully then, there will be places where other stories can happen. Stories that aren't about Bruce.
I thought you said you couldn't undo that.
I can't. Realities have already started to collapse, Bruce. They can't all stay up forever. The cultural aphasia has been increasing. I think your friend Victoria told you as much.
Well, yeah.
The people coming through. How many more characters are out there, Bruce? I would have to hunt you all down.
So the other people that came through to Vicky were like us? They could control things?
I don't know. But none of you realized that's what you were doing when you did it, did you? Bruce, all these characters you've invented, Steve Sanderson, The Signal, Gypsum. Do you think they all exist in a vacuum?
What? Invented? I wish.
Bruce.
You can tell me I made all this, but I didn't make the blizzard. There's no way.
Is there no way?
No.
Even the things that you love are just more pieces of you. There's another option, Bruce. You could end all of it. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe it's time for this story to be over.
You want us to make a decision like that just mere minutes after learning that we have this kind of power?
Minutes for you. Countless lifetimes for me.
Well, it's not just me. You said we're all like this now.
If it makes you feel better, maybe you could make something new. Maybe you could start a new story. But you could not be a part of that new story, Bruce.
Could any of us?
No. You've been so wrapped up in fate since the first time I even met you. You think everything is fate. The sick part of it is, Bruce, you create fate. And fate is such an ugly word.
You just want us to remove ourselves from existence so you can go on living?
Fuck you, Alana.
You're already
Real
a
talk.
brain in a jar.
The Dunbar number, I can barely comprehend that more than 150 people exist anyway. So I truly don't give a fuck.
Wait, really? 150?
Yes, that's the Dunbar number. It's some person who decided this is how many people we could consciously register as people.
Oh, can we, knock that number up?
She looks at you as you all go back and forth, and she puts up her hands.
Or don't. Or don't. Go on. Unmake this. Make us live again. Make us die again. Make us casualties in whatever cosmic war you think you're waging here. The point is, I can't stop you. This isn't even the first time that we've had this conversation. If it doesn't work this time, maybe it'll work in 5 iterations. Maybe it'll work in 500 iterations. I've said my piece. You need to make this decision for yourselves.
And she drops dead in front of you.
Oh. That was dramatic.
Dramatic as fuck, right?
This has been What's in the Rift. If you enjoyed our show, please remember to rate and review on your favorite podcast platforms. If you really enjoyed our show, you can support us directly via Patreon or join our Discord. Both links can be found at what'sintherift.com. What's in the Rift is brought to you by Gas Station Drugs.